Welcome to the virtual lunch. Today is Friday, May 13th, and this is virtual lunch number 559. Our guest today is Ari Treuhaft, the Chief Operating Officer for Litify, and this is part of our series on strategy meets technology with our friends at Affinity Consulting Group. Ari, how are you?
I'm doing great, Ari.
Awesome. So glad you're here. Tell us about your background and the genesis of Litify.
My background, I've been in vertical software for basically my entire career. I started off in financial services. I actually started on the support desk, taking support calls. I work for a software company that serviced hedge funds and private equity firms. So it was fascinating to work with people in a very professional setting and see the best and worst of people in a professional setting, taking support calls. And throughout a 7-year stint at this software company, I worked my way up from support desk to managing the support desk, to running customer implementations, to managing the implementation team, to leading client services and customer success, and eventually running the operations of this business. Joined Litify and been here for about 3 years. And to date, we focus on both law firms and in-house corporate teams. And the concept is very simple. It's leveraging a platform to improve your process. And the platform approach is primarily founded on 3 simple concepts. You need to have transparency into what's happening on the ground so you can make better informed business decisions. The extensibility of a platform that gives every department or practice group or user set the flexibility that they need to be able to do the legal work that they need to do. Every case is different. Every practice area is different, and they bring that approach to their business. So having a platform that's extensible, that gives everybody exactly what they need while still not breaking the overarching operational process a business needs to be successful is incredibly key. And the third pillar is automation. How automation can really drive success and progress for any legal service provider, whether you're a law firm or an in-house corporate team.
Ari's point about what we all can now do remotely or are willing to do remotely compared to pre-pandemic is really interesting. And we've been thinking a lot about how we manage a project right now. It doesn't really matter what project it is, but how we manage a project and how we think about that today. And we were joking and remembering back to, as consultants who implemented software, getting on an airplane on a Sunday, flying to a law firm. They let us in on Sundays. We installed software on Sunday. We had some meetings about customization on Monday and Tuesday. And on Wednesday, we showed them our customization and we trained them on Thursday and Friday. And then we got in on our airplanes and we flew home. And we were comparing that to how we think about doing a remote implementation now, because Ari, as you know, I bet if you went and looked back at how you did it on site, you did things in larger chunks. You touched it way less times than you touch it now, because we now have this time frame when 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we can work on a project. We all think about an implementation or doing something differently in a much different way. And it's something we're trying to figure out now at Affinity. But I'm curious, Ari, would you say that the same thing is true for you guys, that you've recognized the cost change on changing your methodology?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're a startup and you have a lot of generalists that work within your business, and it's true about any business that you might be operating. If you're in service or you're a product company or you're a law firm, you have people that are multifaceted and they just do whatever it takes to get things done. And as we were going through this change also, we started to specialize a lot more. And what we realized is as we're specializing, there are opportunities, there are roles that require face time. There are opportunities and roles that don't require face time. And how can we be as efficient as we can be while still not losing the opportunity to capture that intangible sense of meeting a person in person, shaking somebody's hand. We were blessed during the pandemic to also have a number of employees that were comfortable with travel. We never mandated it, but there were employees that were traveling. It was a balancing act. Obviously, safety was the highest regard, but you had to say, well, Where are the opportunities for me to do this as efficiently as possible without being in person? Where's the opportunity cost of not getting in person with somebody, whether it was sales, whether it was a partnership opportunity? It's just about really segmenting which roles, which parts of whatever process it is you're focused on require an in-person touch, and then investing in that and doubling down on the parts that don't and trying to be as efficient as possible. It's important for people to understand what Salesforce actually is and who uses it. When people hear Salesforce, especially folks here that might have used Salesforce or do use Salesforce in a sales capacity, only thing that people generally think about is a CRM system. Salesforce is also deployed as a service system, a ticketing system. Those are the two most common deployments of Salesforce. But Salesforce, about 10 years ago, had this brilliant idea where they were building this fantastic technology that had a very specific use case. And they established a ISV model, which they were able to take the underlying platform and provide it to other businesses to build their systems on top of it. So think of using the underlying technology to build out a very specific vertical use case for any type of business. What we do is we have a product that has many different flavors and slices based on the type of legal practice you're in. The product that Jason's implementing is very specific to an insurance defense firm. The product that another firm might be implementing is very specific to an employment firm. And the beauty of it is it's all the same product. And Salesforce gives you the ability to customize with clicks, no code configuration, and then arming a team like Affinity through implementation to then consult with the customer and figure out exactly what their process is and how do you use a piece of technology, not as a place to put things, which is generally how practice management or matter management, it's a device that you can use to drive improvement in your business and to scale your business. And that's what technology was meant for. Technology was not meant to check a box to say, I have this need, does this solve the need? It's how can I drive improvement and drive innovation in how I manage my business? And that's what you need to tap into. You need all of these pieces. You need a solution that fits for the customer. You need to show them the path and the light of being able to take control of their technology and make them a believer, or if they're already a believer, in the vision of driving process and being able to drive process through technology. And then it's just a slam dunk. If you're trying to differentiate yourself by a feature, or you're trying to differentiate yourself by a price, or maybe even a flagship customer and saying, trust me because I made that customer successful, or believe me that I'm the right product because I have this widget, that's wrong. And contract lifecycle management is really exciting space to be in right now. But my question is, what is the end game here? There are so many of them. How are they differentiating themselves? And there are some companies that I see that are doing a fantastic job actually talking about the value that they're delivering. We're actually going to increase whatever that metric is of success for your business. And that is the only way to differentiate, is by talking about the value, demonstrating the value. And then if you've delivered it for other customers, they can speak about the value too. And ultimately, the ones that win will be the ones that have delivered value to their customers and can quantify the value that they've delivered. So that's something that we do. We're a sales and product driven organization. So we're engaged with many customers on competitive sales cycles. And one thing that you'll never hear any of our salespeople do is you'll never hear them talk specifically about a feature. You'll never hear them bash the competition. There's a lot of competition out there. We don't sell down to the competition. We sell the value that our product has delivered for other customers and what we believe the value will be to that customer. And that's the only way, in my opinion, to sell and to be successful in this business.
Ari Treuhaft, everybody. What a privilege. Really fun conversation. Thanks to you. Thanks, of course, to Beth Thompson, Debbie Foster, and the Affinity team for supporting our series on strategy meets technology. I feel like this is a great precursor to our extraordinary week ahead at the ALA conference. Ari, such a privilege. Thank you so very much.